In my film, I was mainly appealing to a male student audience, and with the immediate presence of action and violence in my sequence, I ensured that men would be attracted to my film because typically adrenaline appeals more to men than women. However, by having a female lead in my film, I enabled my film to address a larger audience over both sexes, plus built onto this, the establishment of a black lead also allows my film to be even more inclusive. In my second question, I talked about how my characters were from the middle class, and this mirrors what my typical audience would be. The connection between the two means that my audience feels more sympathetic towards Nicole as she is abducted and taken. This is also the case when talking about her age as she is a young student, and when noting her sex when addressing a female audience. Also, because she is a woman, it's likely men would feel more sympathetic towards her than a male character because stereotypically men would view her as more vulnerable and feel more compassion for her plight. At the start of the sequence, we hear a voicemail Nicole sends to her mother. The relationship between her and her mother is notable as the bond between mother and daughter, as I mentioned in a previous question, can be seen to reinforce that of the audiences. It's likely, because of the age bracket of my audience, that they would be filled with more sons and daughters rather than mothers and fathers, but I still feel that my film would compel my young audience to keep watching as they wait until Nicole has returned with her mother, as they themselves would want the same thing when placed in the same situation. In fact, many characteristics of Nicole that I've mentioned in previous questions of how she is astute, adventurous, but also strong mentally and physically, mimic that of my young, intelligent and affluent audience. In addition, her urban lifestyle also plays into this, and even though not much of the character has been revealed to the audience, in the short 2 minutes she has on screen, the audience has the illusion of knowing her, as she is presented as a relatable millennial whose abduction has been made even more tragic because of the links she has made with the viewer. The general age rating of my film, being 15 from the BBFC, will help attract a young audience, as it's likely with a universal or PG rating, this may put off an audience as it could be seen as too vanilla or mundane. So having a high rating, because of the violence and threat in my film, will help to establish it as an intense thriller with gritty action, hence appealing to my young 16 to 26 audience. A setting in a local town, like Bury St Edmunds, will help it connect with my young British audience because its classic local town setting is familiar and will ensure members of the audience will once again feel more connected and a part of the film than they may have previously anticipated. But as a whole, in conclusion, I feel I addressed the audience most notably with the use of the character Nicole through her age, class, sex and family relationship, which I hope connected with and associated themselves with the audience.